What is the theme for this episode?
The theme is to actually, what is it actually like renovating your house?
Actually, you want the real experience?
Yes, I think actually it would be better to.
So you want the La La Land versus the real experience?
The La La Land is what everybody imagines, but what we need to talk about is what is really going to happen. You know what I mean? And what was it like for you the first time you renovated your house?
Oh, when I renovated my own house. Oh, wow. Okay, I'll tell you what. The first time I renovated my house being married.
Oh.
Ta-da! Let's put it out there. But anyways, the first time I renovated a house. So I'll tell you what I thought it's going to be.
Exactly, perfect.
And what actually happened. And that's coming from the perspective that I am a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So first of all, I thought that it's going to be very quick and simple because I'm in the trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly draw my my plans. What is that for?
It's to see if the camera, you know.
I see. So, yeah, that's actually great. So, back.
Yes, we're back.
So I thought I'm going to quickly draw plans, show it to my wife, give her my ideas as a professional, as a great designer, as a great contractor. She'll be like, oh my God, Max, this is beautiful. I'm going to quickly get my
I'm so happy I married you.
That's going to be done. The real story. The real story is that we couldn't agree on a lot. And I realized that from the point of having the first design to the point of agreeing what is that we're going to do took a certain amount of time.
Ah, very interesting.
Of us arguing, of us not agreeing with each other. When it comes to kitchens, when it comes to flooring, when it comes to finishes. Clearly, structurally and all that.
Yeah, of course. That's
honestly, it wasn't even discussed because as long as the wall is away, everything is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So the experience was difficult when it comes to that. But then when the renovation started, I thought that it's going to be a little bit more straightforward.
Yes.
You know, that's it. We discussed everything. It's like, and I'm thinking this is not what I want.
So what you imagined, and then it started happening, and you're like, that's not what I imagined.
And then the funny part come in, the joke. I said, okay, you know what? Let's ask people what they like more, your idea or my idea.
Oh, wow.
I'm a professional who does that on a daily basis. And you don't know what you're talking about. Doing your pharmaceutical stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to guess you were wrong.
People came in and everybody's like liking her ideas more.
There you go.
And that was the first time when I realized you do not argue with your wife. But anyways, so I started more incorporating her ideas because people just like them more. And you know, when you renovate, do you do it for yourself or for people?
Both.
Both, but you do want people to come in and be like, oh, wow, it's so beautiful. This is so nice.
Well,
I wish we had that in our house.
I think you often do it for yourself, and then you hope that they come in and they say, wow, it's so amazing. Or they come in and they're like, no, this is awful.
No. So you want to do real stuff?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go to La La Land? Yeah, you're right. But you want me to go to real stuff?
No, I want the real stuff, yes.
Real stuff is you invest a lot of money and all the wows that you get, that's a return on investment.
True.
If you don't get those wows, it's like you didn't do anything. Okay? So where were we? So her ideas were better. It took time. And then second illusion versus reality that we had. I really thought that's going to be a quick thing.
How quick did you think?
I thought that I'm going to renovate everything 3-4 months. Believe it or not, so we bought a fixer-upper. Everything had to be changed from builder pretty much. But the problem is you don't realize that when you work on your own house, so what happens is there's a certain amount of work that you can do before you move in,
Mm-hmm.
which was the big stuff.
What
But
are
then-
those things?
Kitchen, first floor renovation, flooring, everything,
Oh,
paint,
it's huge.
and all that kind of. No, but it's nothing, because then you don't have enough time. We moved in, and now you got to do bathrooms, basement, and that kind of stuff.
Yes, yes.
So all of a sudden, what happens now? We are going into phase 2. That's where we're already living there, and we start renovating all that. Phase 2, that's where your significant other also get into phase 2. And they're like, when the hell is that going to be done?
Never.
You know what I mean? And it's an ongoing process. And then we got to another phase where, you argue about areas.
Areas?
Yeah.
Like the rooms?
So we had this area, this one room.
Yeah.
When we bought the house, it was unfinished in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
I looked into this area. I looked at this room and I said, that's my future sauna.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
My wife looked at this room and said, you wish. That's my future storage space.
Yeah.
More arguments are coming in. Eventually, we got the sauna. By the way, we use it almost on a daily basis now. I love my sauna.
Very fortunate that it would have been hilarious if you built a sauna and then it turned into storage.
No, because you know what I thought? I thought to myself, listen, sauna is a kind of thing that theoretically you can remove the wood quickly or put just drywall on top of it. So it can always go back to a storage room,
Yeah.
right? But honestly, we both agree on the fact that, first of all, we made the right thing for installing it. Second of all, sauna, by the way, for everybody at home, just to know, sauna is, number one, very relaxing. Number two, a great place to interact, to talk at the end of the day. A great place to find solutions to issues when you're talking to your significant other. And makes you fall asleep much, much better and easier. It's healthy. Your body is more relaxed and everything. So all those benefits, I said I had to have one. But that was something that also was a kind of do we want or not. But eventually, believe it or not, I was in renovations for almost a year.
Yeah.
For almost a year.
Oh, wow.
Because when more and more I dug into this renovation, I realized that I want more stuff. For an example, not that I want it, it needs more stuff. Like for an example, we got out the basement because we didn't like it. And now, by the way, it was in the beginning of COVID. So what happened in COVID?
I don't know what happens. The shortage of
The world stopped.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had the opportunity to do it on my own.
Ah, okay.
I was actually, most of the renovation I was doing on myself because we didn't work
Yeah.
for like 2 months,
Yeah.
3 months. So I got out all the basement and everything, and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, what do I do? If I move the mechanicals to a different space, I'm going to get even a bigger basement. So I
Yeah.
started doing that. So pretty much it became a snowball effect of more and more and more and more work.
When you have too much time, you start getting too many ideas.
No, that's the problem. I don't have time because I had a ticking bomb. It's called a wife that is very anxious and wants to finish this renovation yesterday. And I'm sitting there, hey, you know what? I'm not going to build a wall today. I'm going to move the HVAC system.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to postpone it by another 5. By the way, we were without HVAC unit for 2.5 days in the winter.
How?
Yeah.
Well, okay, we all had that experience. I'll tell you why. You remember we had an ice storm here that froze all the electrical lines and everything?
Oh, wow.
And we were without electricity for like 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
We all got the experience of, you were with 7 blankets in a sweater,
So you see, I didn't have to go through this experience.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because my HVAC guy just was very overconfident. And he said, yeah, let's move it. And I'm going to go get the unit. But when he went to get the unit, it wasn't
Available
available because it's COVID.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, what the hell were you thinking?
Was the
now
sauna?
he moved everything. He moved all the ducts and stuff. And like,
Nice.
he's like, I'm sorry, Max.
Was the sauna there already?
Sorry?
Was the sauna already there?
No, I wish.
Goddamn.
I would sleep in it probably.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, yeah. So all these kind of projects, and then bathrooms and all that, it postponed the renovations, which made it from one great, I love you, babe, kind of experience to
Yes.
get it over with, or I'm gonna kill you.
So basically, okay. So the one thing that people are gonna run into the first time is, they're gonna have debates on choosing.
Yeah. So definitely. I wouldn't call it debates, but I would call it more like butting heads over, because really butting heads over finishes and over stuff.
It's a matter of taste. Yeah.
It is a matter of taste, but I would want to say that I got a good taste. Yet again,
Of course, everybody.
my taste was not picked.
True.
But funny enough.
What did you want?
Sorry.
What did you want?
So for an example, I wanted a very modern kitchen.
Oh, like black and white stuff?
Not black and white, but a very modern, minimalistic.
Is it kind of like the El Dorado kitchen? That's pretty modern looking.
Yeah, something like that.
okay.
Minimum lines, minimum, and she wanted more contemporary, where you could have a little, like, maybe not like classical shakers kind of cabinets, but
Yeah.
still something, a border around and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And we had to settle for that.
Okay.
It took me almost a week to design a kitchen for myself. Now, mind you, you need to have the kitchen in order to move in.
Yeah.
So that wasn't my case, So what happened was we didn't have all this luxury. So a week is a long time. And then I had to go to my kitchen guys. Luckily, they were very cool to put things on the side and quickly build the kitchen for me. I got the kitchen installed in like 2 weeks from me saying go ahead to the kitchen being installed.
So you're gonna live on takeout for a little bit. You're gonna living on takeout.
No. So we were still living in our old house before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
so luckily we were okay. But yeah, butting heads, that's definitely something that happens. Everybody have their own opinion. Well, I guess the experience is not to get divorced.
Yeah.
To try and stay cool. with each
So
other.
I guess for some people, when they're doing their first renovation, if they're already if they're not in a situation where they still have their old house, because a lot of people, they have
That's
to
even
move,
more stressful.
then they will be living on takeout for a little bit,
That's even more stressful.
and going
you
to the
gotta-
laundromat, I guess.
You gotta make sure that everything is in perspective. Yeah, you gotta make sure that everything is in perspective, because when you are a millisecond from being triggered,
Yeah.
it's like it could be a problem. But yeah, pretty much mainly that. Otherwise, when it comes to construction, again, if you got a good contractor and
Yeah, so here we have to disconnect from you in a sense that because for you, of
yeah,
course,
because my experience is different. I did
yes,
everything
of
myself.
course, it's going to be very different from a average person who is not a contractor. Obviously, they never dealt with contractors. They have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on.
So I think that what people need to know that now, besides having butting heads with your significant other, you also have another marriage going on, and that's with your contractor.
Yes.
Your contractor should also understand the full story of what is that you're trying to do. Believe it or not, I do quite often tell my clients, "Yeah, I don't like what you're doing here."
Oh, in terms of taste kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like.
Do they
what you're
take it
doing.
as an offense?
I don't do it. So smart people know they will take it as a kind of an exclamation point. We got to check that out. Why would you say so? Yes, I had clients that would get offended. But that just, my job is to work for them. My job is to give them the best product ever. While they think that my job is just to make money, my job is to take pictures of the place,
Yes.
and be proud of what I'm doing so that I can post it online. If I'm not, it's remember the
Your
black
job is to send me to take pictures.
the black pot lights, right?
Yes.
Right?
That's what I was thinking about.
We don't want black pot lights on a white ceiling because it looks like pimples. but people don't get that sometimes. And my job is to be like, okay, listen, you probably don't want to do that. You probably don't want to do that. And then eventually the client thanked me and said, oh, you know what, Max? Yeah, luckily I didn't waste all this money
Yeah.
on doing that. So your contractor has to be your friend, yet again, not feel free enough to criticize you if necessary, telling you that what you're trying to do is incorrect. But again, if the client eventually would say, Max,
We want this.
I want, you do. I will do. I will do.
Yeah.
I will not be proud of it, but I will do
Listen,
it.
in the end of the day, yeah, they live there.
I was talking to a client today and I said, they were telling me, well, Max, are you going to help us to design the kitchen? I said, of course I will, because I'm a professional. That's what I do. I will tell you how mainly the kitchen should look like, what's a triangle of kitchens to make sure, like, you don't want the fridge to be too far from the sink. You don't want, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, true.
There's a certain order that things should be in. I said, and if I'm not going to like that, I'm going to let you know. But if you don't care about the fact that I don't like that, but you want it your way, eventually you will get it your way. It's not like, I'm going to be in your way of getting something that you like.
Okay, of course. Just don't complain to me after.
Yeah, but I'm going to try to do my best to give you my experience.
Yeah.
To make
I'm
it right.
sure it's more of a conversation that, like, I don't, like, my board of advice is this is going to clash. It's not going to look good, and not like this is garbage.
Yeah.
So
Now, another thing that happens in real life in construction, which is interesting, there are a few breaking points.
what are they?
So when a client started construction and it's ongoing, the first stage of construction is very technical. It's very electrical wires, HVAC, and all that. They don't see things moving.
Yes, okay.
Things don't move. Max, why things aren't moving? And you're like, things are moving perfectly fine. It's all good.
Behind the scenes. Yeah.
Things are not moving. So this is the first breaking point where the client will come to you and show you frustration sometimes. Again, I'm a professional. I know how to deal with that. The great thing is to tell them up front, guys, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to feel this way, but that's not the case.
Okay.
Believe it or not, it works.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Magic. It's the same thing as you're telling them that something is not allowed. They don't believe you. They go to the city, they confirm, then they call you and they're like, you know what, Max, you were right. Wow. So clearly you know what you're talking about.
100%.
So same here. When you confirm them something that actually happens, but there are a few breaking points, and those breaking points, me as a contractor, I should be aware of those and kind of take their hands towards the light, and be like, I guess a lot has to do with the contractor, not even the homeowners, but the contractor. Communication. They should expect that not every contractor is good at communication. Some contractors are great, believe it or not. They will come in, they're like, hey, move aside, let me do my job. Not the best practice out there, but some are actually doing a good job, and eventually they will lead you to this light, but meanwhile you're gonna have a couple of extra gray hairs on your head, and it is what it is,
Okay, so there's gonna be some frustration in terms of like if they're not warned, which I would bet money most contractors are not warned in them, in terms of like.
Yeah, another thing that is very important is budgets. So all clients, all customers know, and I put it in bold, underline it. They know that there will be small extras here and there. But the funniest part, when it gets to that point, all of a sudden they're surprised. Oh, we thought that's going to be included. why? You know what I mean?
Can you give an example? Like
An example. Renovating a full house. And then the client wants an additional duct somewhere.
Oh, that's huge.
They're like, yeah, but we thought you're going to do the whole house. We thought that's going to be including. Why? If it wasn't necessary, it's not huge. It's really not. It's really not. Duct, like seriously.
Oh, I
Go
see
to Home
what you
Depot,
mean.
like an
I see what you
HVAC.
mean.
Sorry,
Oh,
an
okay,
HVAC
okay.
duct.
I thought you have to like redesign the thing.
No. It's not huge. But, you know, if it wasn't part of the scope, why, you know, should we do that? Or situation like flooring. You can do, usually when you're talking about flooring, you would assume, hardwood flooring. You would assume regular straight planks that you put on the floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want different styles, like herringbone, chevron. You know, those are very complicated. The client would assume that you would do it the same for the same amount of money.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, but we thought
They see flooring is flooring.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the problem is that when you are working on such a big construction, my brother, it's impossible to know everything.
Yeah.
Impossible. When you're doing a job that costs $400,000, $420,000, if it's just a renovation, like a full house renovation, and they will want one extra outlet. Fine. But eventually, when you say fine, that's costing you money.
Yeah, of course.
And now you got a duct, you got an outlet, you got flooring, you got this, that. All of a sudden, you're behind like 10, 15 grand.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, clients don't really understand that. So it's very important. It's very important to discuss everything, which means you go to the store, they pick a flooring that you see it going to be something more complicated. You're like, well, listen, just to let you know, we were discussing about regular planks, you know?
So if I'm doing my first renovation, from my perspective, then I need to be prepared that, well, first of all, I need to read the documents carefully.
100%. And it's not, again, because the contractor is trying to fool you or do everything cheap.
Yeah, it's because...
It's just everything is based on assumptions.
Yes, exactly. And you want to have as little assumptions as possible, essentially.
It's like,
right?
I'm not going to ask you, when I'm doing a renovation for you, I'm not going to ask you, are you going to have your tile 1 foot by 1 foot or 2 feet by 2 feet? I don't care. I'm going to do it. Sure. I'm not going to ask you what color of grout you're going to have there, because I know that you will have grout and you will have tile.
Yeah.
Same here. When we're talking flooring, by default, automatically you're talking about regular
straight
hardwood, right? So
yeah, but then there's styling like what we filmed. There's style like that compared to regular tile, you know. So
exactly. You know, you can't all of a sudden bring something like that into the picture and assume that the contractor will do it for
of course,
for the same amount of money.
Of course.
It's a lot involved.
So basically the first time, you know, person renovating for the first time, what they need to kind of anticipate is you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So there are going to be situations where you made assumptions where you shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Yeah,
because a lot of people would get a price from a contractor, would be like, oh yeah, that's great, let's do it. And then they would try to suck out everything. All of a sudden, you know, so for another example, you close a renovation, everything, nobody discusses nothing, bathroom, 3-piece bathroom, okay. You get to it, all of a sudden they buy wall-mounted toilet. Now, wall-mounted toilet have a frame that goes into this wall, steel frame, and that has to have space, and you have to prepare framing for that.
It connects to the beam, to the studs? Is that right?
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
So you have to cut studs, you have to prepare an opening for it, to put it inside, all that. Nobody knew about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, nobody knew about it.
Exactly.
But the client can say, well, listen, you told me that you're going to do a renovation. You're going to put a toilet. I picked this toilet. There should be leniency where the client understands that I gave him more work to do. There should be. And unfortunately, as funny as it sounds, there are always arguments about that,
Of course.
but
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, you said there's going to be a toilet. I picked a, Japanese toilet, Space Shuttle 7000. It is now wired, to the, that's actually how it works. They have like the thing on the wall.
what thing?
Like, so Japanese toilets,
Okay.
a lot of them, well, some of them will have buttons on the thing, but a lot of them it's built into the room in the sense that like on the side, on the wall, there are the controls for the toilet.
Okay. Yeah.
So now you have to run wiring, probably.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
of course.
exactly.
So in this frame, you got a space for those two buttons and everything.
Yes,
exactly. So you as a contractor charge, I'm just saying, $150 to install a toilet.
A regular toilet.
And all of a sudden you're getting that.
Exactly. Now you need an electrician and of course.
Which, by the way, takes us back to construction drawing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have permit drawings where you show the city, we're going to have a toilet in here, and then a contractor installed as per these drawings, versus construction drawing, usually it would have toilet, what kind of toilet, specifications for the toilet, and you know right away if it's wall mounted or floor mounted in the drawing. But that's if the client even knew about it ahead of time.
Exactly.
Usually when they pick fixtures later.
Exactly.
So you start a renovation, Max, I got empty pockets, I have nothing, how much? And all of a sudden bring you golden toilet and they're like,
Yeah.
installed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's another thing, I guess, the sooner you decide factually what you're going to use, like the specific models and everything, the more accurate you're going to have the situation,
The more, so better your drawings are, and if they include all the equipment, all the fixtures, the more accurate your construction quote is going to be, and less questions are going to be asked. Pretty much, if you remember, we discussed the last episode about good drawings versus bad drawings.
Yeah.
Again, it's all depends. Now, of course, if the client changed their mind, for example, if on the drawing you got a regular toilet, floor-mounted toilet, and now they bring a wall-mounted toilet, they should be able to pay for it.
Yeah, of course. So now here's the question. I never thought about this, actually. It just popped in my head. Considering the construction goes on for months, prices can change. In terms of not prices of labor, but prices of materials and stuff like that. Like, so how does that work?
Okay, so this is why the client gives you a down payment. You would want, so my rule of thumb is I need enough down payment to build the envelope.
What does that mean?
That means I will go and I will get all the materials right away.
Okay.
Before prices change, to make sure that all the exterior is built and watertight.
Oh, okay. So the sooner you get it, the better, basically.
Of course. Now, clearly, if something is, prices change all the time, but they're not very significant. And yes, we as contractors losing on it. But I honor my agreement, and I will eat the costs. But sometimes, yes, when something is radical, we're stopping everything and we just talk to the client and we're like, listen.
Like COVID. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
what
like
people
COVID,
did
for
to-
example, 2x4 went from $295, I think, to all of a sudden $795.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah.
At some point, actually, 1 2x4 was for like a week or two, $11. I bought few, actually.
That's insane.
I had no choice. I bought few.
Yeah.
Like 5, 6.
Yeah, like things happen. This, tariffs, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. What are you?
Yeah, well, tariffs now, we have a couple of quotes that were changed due to that factor.
And unfortunately,
So we gave
sometimes.
them a certain budget, but then when the quote came in, it was much higher because of that.
So what if something like dramatic like this, external reasons happens in the middle of a project?
Well, listen, as I said, Most of the materials are not very dramatic. Usually it's about equipment.
Equipment? Like
Yes. Like
toilets?
HVAC units and
okay.
that kind of stuff. So yeah, we just tell the client and we ask them to sometimes to add. But it happens few times. It didn't really.
Yeah, true.
And again, it's not very significant. When you're building a new home and you're spending about $1 million or $1.2, $1.4 million on a new home, if you're gonna need to, to pay another extra $1,000 or $2,000 on a piece of equipment,
true.
it's not gonna make it or break it.
Yeah, because I mean, realistically.
But again, the clients have to be reasonable. If the client is not reasonable, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You're gonna have arguments on everything.
Yeah.
Like you also need to understand, for example, when you're building a home over 8-9 months, and you quoted a kitchen with a certain material, and this material went up in price, and all of a sudden your kitchen company tells you that, listen, it's going to cost you a little bit more. The only way for you not to get in trouble is if you upcharge your client.
Yeah.
Clients want... I would want to think that your client want things to be very honest and crystal clear. Transparent. And you shouldn't upcharge. You should get your percentage for the work, and that's about it. You should, you know what I mean? So
on the materials,
if all of a sudden the kitchen that you wanted to buy was supposed to be, let's say 50, 60 grand, and all of a sudden now it's 65, you as a client, unfortunately, got to eat the cost. It's not like we just decided to get into argument with you. And of course, usually when we do that, we're also going to show proof. Like you would get a letter from the manufacturer that from next month or starting January, prices are going up.
Oh, okay.
So we show it clearly. We show it to our client and just saying, listen, too bad, so sad.
So the person who's doing the renovation, the owners, they should basically plan for a certain margin of safety in the budget. You have a specific kind of like number of
20%.
20%? Yeah, that's what I would have guessed.
15 to 20%, and I tell it to every client, and it's a norm.
Yeah. Okay.
If you think that, we've done renovations where we were most of our renovations on the ball, not even a penny extra, unless the client asked for something extra, not even a penny, because those are fast. 3 months, you just buy quickly the materials, go ahead, and that's it. And as I said, I'm not going to bargain, over.
No, I understand.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It just, if something is really big. So over small renovations, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we had, there's there's the person stuff, then there's the contractors, and there's, budget stuff. After that, anything else that, it will be like a surprise?
No, I think if you're familiar with all that, by that time you're already
You're kind of in the middle, like you're in the process, like...
Yeah, you're like just waiting for it to finish. And at a certain time, you already get kind of immune to everything. You're like...
I would also guess that probably what happens, I don't know about often, but definitely happens, is that when people order equipment or appliances or whatever, you might run into some, like it sounds like everything's going to be perfect. And then, like something came in late or, or damaged or blah, blah, blah. Little surprises.
Happens. You know what I mean? Happens on a regular basis.
Yeah. And now it's a bit of a pain and time to deal with that problem. But also, you know what I mean? So basically, really, if you think about it, the issue is with first time renovating, is that we all have this, ideal fantasy picture in our head, and that's not going to happen.
Listen, I do believe that construction is pretty much like the human body. Anything can fail at any moment.
True.
And the idea is, if something happened, you've got to find the solution and move on. Good general contractor will find the solution fairly quickly because, first of all, experience and knowledge, and second of all, because of your connections to the suppliers. Like an example. we had one of our clients bought very expensive appliances, but one of the appliances that he bought did not match. So he changed an appliance that did not match size-wise the kitchen,
Oh, okay.
and he paid like, it's a hood. He paid like $3,500
Oh,
for
it's a
this
big
hood.
deal. Yeah.
And I told him, okay, it's not a big deal. Just I found the right hood, and I told him, just call them and replace it. They will be okay. He called them. They didn't want to listen to him.
What do you mean?
And I said, exactly. I said, what do you mean? Oh, they didn't want to give me my money back. They said that it was already kind of...
It was brand new, not installed, no?
yeah, the order was in. So anyways, I made a couple of calls.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the hiccups. Can you hear it in the car?
Very, very good. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
So anyways, I made a couple of calls. And then he calls me a day after I made my calls. And he's like, oh, Max, you can't even believe it. It took me a while, but I managed that to happen. I'm like, okay, you did.
This is one thing I actually also more people need to kind of like I understand is that in terms of the relationships with suppliers, you will have much more kind of sway compared to one singular customer. They're really not going to do much for a singular customer compared to somebody who works with them continuously.
Well, not only, also you need to understand, most of the time customers getting involved emotionally.
Yeah, of course.
And, if you tell them no, it's like they start, what are you talking about? I paid all this money, blah, blah, blah. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that.
Of course.
So I found that being nice in good ways is much, much, much
more effective. 100%.
more effective. 100%. 100%.
Without
Screaming and yelling will not get you anywhere.
I have a friend that's his approach. I love him. I love him, but his approach with like customer service is like bullying his way into. I'm like, if you were nice, you would have had much higher odds of somebody helping you. You know what I mean?
It's like, when I was younger and I had phone bills, like big phone bills, and I would call, let's say Rogers or whatever, and you're like, that's it. I want to disconnect me.
Yes.
Okay. But then they would move you to this other department.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They would try and help you out, and they would reduce something and help you out a little bit. I found that when you do it nicely and you're like, listen, it's a big bill. Help me out here. They would give you a better promotion and even advice to you, something that you didn't even know about.
Of course.
And you're like, wow, you're great. Thank you for that. You're so awesome.
Who wouldn't do that? Especially in their job where they're dealing with, not so nice people all day.
Yeah.
If you're the nice one, they're like, oh, you're my favorite customer. I'm going to do whatever I can.
I found that achieves a lot more in life.
100%.
And I'm just, honestly, to be honest with you, I find that I'm getting tired of people that are not nice. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, so I guess to turn back to the topic of discussion is if you're doing your renovation for the first time, even when you're frustrated, and you will be frustrated at some point, try your best to kind of like...
To talk about it.
Yeah, just, don't like flip out.
But also to give credit to homeowners out there and the guys who wants to renovate, the people who actually want to do it. Not always your contractor is somebody you can talk to. That's a problem.
That's true.
If you hire a contractor for the price and not for the full package, don't expect for anything else. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true. That's true. But also at the same time,
sorry, I'm going to cut you off on that because it's very important for people to know. Contractor that gives low prices, they assume I gave you better than everybody. You owe me to be quiet and let me do what I need to do.
Yes.
But that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not the case. It's a partnership. It's not the case. Client should be able to come at any moment and be like, what'd you do here? And you should be able to explain. If you're like, oh, don't worry about it, everything is okay, just leave. Or let me finish, I'll talk to you later. That's it. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Remember red flags we discussed?
Yeah, of course. This is the problem when you go for like the cheapest option is you got to realize the cheap comes from somewhere. You know what I mean? And it will usually come from like, reducing the service one way or another. And it might be not financial, but more like not listening to you.
You know what my advice to people? When you talk to a contractor, contractors sometimes is very sympathetic to the people they talk to.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, me as well. Like, for example, if I come to somebody, when somebody comes to us and they're like, Max, we're working right now with this lady, the nicest lady in the world. And just because of I overwork. I make my guys to do everything perfect just because of that. Based on basically the same discussion. Yeah. But she has illegal additions in her house. She bought it this way. Yeah, she bought it this way. And she's the nicest person in the world. And I feel bad for her. So you really want to tell her something for her to feel good, but you can't. You have to tell her how it is. Lady, you're great, but you're in trouble. We need to do this, and that. You might need to spend a lot of money for repairs if those additions are not done correctly, and probably they're not. So,
So if you bought a house, right, and there's illegal, now you're responsible?
You are responsible for it 100%.
Oh, wow, that's horrible.
100%. You have an inspector that you should have brought to your house. Not always they will know that, though. It's really your responsibility.
That's insane.
Not knowing doesn't make you...
They don't hold people accountable for, because they can't prove...
You can go and sue them. You can go and sue them, but you are responsible for...
Yeah, but the previous owner is going to be like, I didn't do it.
No, what do you mean? Well, who did?
Well, the person before me. So yeah,
no,
don't know
for
anything.
example, this lady, she has an addition in her house. You can clearly see it's an addition with a post in the middle. And I realized it was a deck. It's just a deck that was enclosed. Completely incorrect. Cold, very cold room. Completely incorrect. And we know that that's going to need to be redone. Or like another addition that she has, like storage. Big room, another big room.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah. And you know that she's looking at, and I told her that, and I said, listen, I'm not trying to paint a story here. You are, the one thing she asked, Max, can you handle that? I said, I definitely can, but just for you to understand, you are going to have things demolished and reconstructed.
Yeah. So I guess that's...
apparently, and then apparently she said, well, you know what, Max? Yeah, I bought this property very cheap.
True.
And I'm ready for it. So I said, okay, that's great. Because the last thing you want is to get people through all this process thinking that we're going to quickly legalize things, couple of things. And
so I guess another tip is for people when they buy a home is maybe make sure that it's all like done correctly.
Yeah, you see, the thing is sometimes you will find a very cheap property. You don't know what's...
Well, it might be worth it. It might be worth it if it's cheap enough. You know what I mean?
So it's worth it because, so this specific property, I told her, so her specific property, her house is in a bad shape, very bad shape. It's there to demolish and build new.
Okay, I see.
So at that situation, the owner of the property was not selling the house.
The land.
He was selling the land.
Okay. It's in the city?
So, yeah. So, this lady who could not afford anything else went for it, and
Yeah, true. Okay.
But if then I realized she understood what she did, but not everybody do.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, yeah, that's an unexpected.
So this is something. Yeah, I don't know how we got to that. Oh, so when a contractor feels like being nice to people and not telling the truth, you got to make sure you have the contractor who will tell you the truth.
True. Yeah.
And this is actually a contractor that works in your favor, not against you.
So what about there's kind of a fine line that is hard to tell sometimes, in the sense that it's in your best interest to be nice to your contractors. It's in your best interest to be nice to everyone. But
Well, yeah, because if you treat them like dogs, they just leave.
However,
What are you going to
if
do?
the contractor is genuinely terrible, you have to be able to tell where that line is, where it's enough being nice and you have to be like...
So listen, every homeowner in construction goes through a situation of, okay, he's bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly not doing what's supposed to do, but I paid a big down payment. I'm afraid to lose the money. You will lose more money. Cut your losses and send them home.
But how do you tell?
If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably duck. It's a duck.
Yeah, true.
Do not try. A lot of people trying to tell themselves a story. No, it's okay. He just really knows what he's doing, and I'm just really bothering him. I should no. That's what do you call this syndrome?
Stockholm.
It's a Stockholm syndrome where you are captive in a situation.
Yeah.
No, you walk away. You walk away. Yes, you collect your losses and you walk away. You get a new contractor, you pay a little bit more, but you don't lose everything.
Yeah, that's true. But it's funny, right? Because I guess in theory, the person who is not nice to begin with, it's just because their threshold where they think you're not doing a good job is like way not where it should be. They're just instantly assuming, no, you're doing things wrong. Just instantly. You know what I mean?
So I'll tell you what, usually this kind of contractor, if they're overpowering you and over talking you, that means they already been through this situation before. That means it's already not a good contractor.
Yeah, true.
A good contractor has no problem to listen to you. They will not tell you, buddy, let me do my job. Don't worry about it. You paid me to do my job. No. You should at any time explain the client what you're doing. If you get irritated by questions being asked, something is fishy there already.
Yeah. We'll make a skit, where it's, the contractor doing something and the client just comes up and, starts like asking 3,000 questions, and you just slowly close the door. Like,
I don't know if you've seen, there's a funny reel going on with these dogs.
Was the dog?
With a small chihuahua barking.
Oh, yeah.
And the big dog just takes him and throws him into the garbage.
Yeah.
And the chihuahua is like, what just happened?
Yeah. But honestly, I generally believe it's kind of a tricky situation, this whole like being nice and where you need to stop being nice, because a lot of it is kind of a gut instinct. But you have to trust your own kind of,
saying it. You can come to your client at the right time, not when they're asking you question the day after. And you can kind of say, listen, it's difficult to concentrate. There are a lot of questions. Maybe we should sit down and discuss.
Yeah.
Maybe we should listen. But again, the residential contractor, in their head, they came in, they saw, they conquered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
That's it. Everything left or right, take them out of their their goal. And for them, a successful project is a project where they did the job as fast as possible and they got paid and left.
You know what? This makes perfect sense, because we started in the beginning that, the first surprise for people is going to be that you're going to butt heads with your loved ones. You know what I mean? And then you're going to enter a second relationship with your contractors. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to, butt heads somewhere. Hopefully not too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much everything is on...
Sort of, yeah. Something is going to be... And it requires both parties to play nice. Unfortunately, not every contractor is nice either.
It's like one of those three people relationship.
Yeah. You need like I guess that's you, a mediator sometimes.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, which is funny that you're saying, yes, I'm the mediator, but you got to be trusted by your client.
Of course.
You got to be trusted by your client to be the mediator.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that with my knowledge and everything, I'm doing a good enough job so that the client can actually trust me.
Yeah.
Like I have situations sometimes where like we would bring an interior designer and the client would talk to the interior designer, and there's a point when I'm like, okay, you know what? No, stop. I would tell the designer, that's incorrect. Don't say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's incorrect. This is not going to work. This, that. You got to be the one. And they should not be like, yeah, but whatever she said, I like it. I wanted it. They should trust you that you're not doing it to save on a buck. Mm-hmm. You're doing it in their favor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. By the way, just a quick side note. When I post on socials for Acadia, mm-hmm. right? I've been meaning to ask you, but how far are you? Like, how far do you work? Toronto area, obviously. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, if customers have inquiries from somewhere else in Canada or US or whatever.
So I'll tell you what. I'll be happy mm-hmm. to answer questions mm-hmm. to anyone. Okay. Believe it or not, I help. I consult some builder even outside of Canada mm-hmm. at certain times because I do drawings for outside of Canada as well. But work itself, we work in the Horseshoe area. Mm-hmm. And yeah, somewhere within an hour and a half, 2 hours max from Toronto.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah. I was going to try to get you a client to build an igloo somewhere up north.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but there are a lot of penguins up there, which you can definitely, I can hook you up with.
You know what? Now I want to see a documentary about construction firms in like polar bear country. I don't know. I have no idea how they operate.
You know what? Igloos actually are genius construction. Genius. If you see how all those Aboriginal people up north build those igloos.
And it's warm inside. It's amazing. Magic.
It's warm, yeah.
Yeah.
And they make fires inside and everything.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe it, like on interior. Like, how is that possible? But hey, it works. You know what I mean? And protects you from polar bears. So
people somehow build the pyramids. So you'll never know.
Aliens,
you saying? Was it the Greys or the what? Or the lizards?
I have no idea. I didn't look that far into it.
Or what do you call those? Anunnaki?
Yeah. No, this is about to become the Star Talk podcast. We're going to talk about pyramids and science.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I am very interested about how those were built.
Well, it is construction related.
It is construction related. It's just that...
Can you imagine project management for building the pyramids? Didn't this go on for like decades, if not hundreds of years or something?
Well, that's what they're saying. Apparently, now they were saying that it would take 40 years to build a pyramid. Now they're thinking 40? Now they're thinking that it's impossible. It would take a lot more.
No way.
Listen, but think about it. But again, that might be a wrong theory. What were the pyramids for? They're saying burial, right? For a burial for...
That's the theory.
For pharaohs. Yeah. And they didn't reign more than like 40, 50 years.
Yes, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, considering how Egyptians were.
Yeah, it's incorrect,
that they did it for, religious reasons. Like something connected to gods and, whatnot. It wouldn't be at all surprising. Some projects in history plenty of projects have been done over hundreds of years. Because it was,
I agree. It could
so, yeah. Wasn't that... what is the name of it? In Barcelona, the famous chapel or church? What is it?
Oh, the 16...
Yeah, is that what 16th chapel?
Yeah.
It's also just finished or it's almost finished? And it's been like how long? You know what I mean? So yeah, some projects can...
Like they were building it over over 200 years or something like that.
It's something insane. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, some projects take forever. This is not that.
Again, I'm not sure if I'm disclaimer. I'm not sure if I'm correct with the name. It just popped up the 16th.
If somebody is rich enough and you would like to build a pyramid, please, approach us. We'll figure it out. We'll find you some land in Africa.
Do you understand how many things you just promised, which are not ever going to happen?
You know what? I'll be amazed if somebody actually approaches us to build an igloo or a pyramid. You know what I mean? An igloo inside a pyramid.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that was pretty informative in terms of actually doing your first renovation and, what to expect, really.
Listen, first renovations are something to remember and be like, I'll never effing gonna do it again. That's what most people say. And then they go into, then
sometime fast
after
you're
that,
like,
a couple of years later, they're like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I find that happens often to women who have their first child. They're like,
not again.
Yeah. Then a couple of years, it's like, no, we're gonna have another one. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. All right.
Not only women, by the way.
Yeah, parents, I should have said.
Thanks very much for this one. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, back to work.